Okay, everybody, welcome to this tutorial. I'm basically going to show how to make use of the key trends feature from the GSS, General Social Survey. Quickly, what is the GSS? What is it used for? The GSS is a nationally representative public opinion survey that has been administered since 1972. It is used by social scientists, sociologists, political scientists, etc., to kind of figure out if public attitudes have shifted or changed. I'm basically going to be focusing in this tutorial how to use the key trends feature, which is quite interesting to use. So let's go ahead and click on key trends feature. For this tutorial, I'm not going to rely on having to create an account. I'm just going to use the key trends feature. So let's click on the key trends feature, which is up here. Okay, so you basically get to this next page, and it has a variety of themes that one can do research on. This in itself is time consuming. Um, Whatever your interests are, you can easily spend hours in this searching for survey questions which may be useful to you. For this purpose, I'm just going to use the crime um, area, which I found to be most fruitful for my sociology classes. And then you get to this default question, which for a lot of people, they see this the first time and they think that's the only question that's available. But actually, if you click on this upside down pyramid looking thing, uh, you get more. And you can see there's a wide selection of survey questions, topics which can be used for academic research. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to be using the same one that I had an assignment assigned for my students. So we're going to click on approve of a policeman striking male citizens. So that was a question that was pulled. Um, so now what about this default setup? Down here you have the original question which was pulled again across the United States. Are there any situations you can imagine in which you would approve of a policeman striking an adult male citizen? And then here you have the variable name. Here you have the timeline, and you have the percent, and you can move the cursor to figure out. So 1973, those that were polled, 72% said yes. Has now went down, so the latest data is 2018. Right? Now the very cool thing is that you can also reverse or look at breakdown features. You could reverse the question, for instance. So actually this been a rise of more people that disapprove of increasing approve of saying no. They do not approve of policemen striking male citizens, right? But let's go back to the original default. Now I want to show you the breakdown feature, which are basically independent variables that one could click on to find out, does it matter, for instance, when we click on political affiliation, does political affiliation matter? This is back to the respondents' self-identification, whether or not they identify as Republicans or Democrats. So then you can see that Republicans tend to approve more, right, than Democrats. And now, how do you kind of use this or put it in papers? Let's say you wanted to use this for an argumentative essay or something. There's a couple of ways you can do it. You can actually click on this export button, and you can turn it into a PDF file. Does not take long at all. There you go. And you even have citation, right? So that's one way, just to use the PDF function. Another way is perhaps more old school, but is to use a print screen button. So I'm going to go ahead and press print screen button on the keyboard, and then I have a Word document down here, which, as you know, you can just paste, and then you have the print screen. Now this is not polished. I would probably recommend doing some editing, etc. But you could put it into a Word document. That's another way to do it. Unfortunately, with this, you don't get the citation. But anyways, that's just a little tutorial of how you could utilize the key trends feature and get into some very interesting topics if you are a student yourself or have been afraid to use data in your papers. But you can see it's quite easy. Interpretation of data is another story, but the access to data nowadays is a lot more. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the podcast.